Working at a retro game store, often we get stuff traded in that looks kind of like this. Broken cosmetically, perfectly functional, but something that, needless to say, is a little bit below our standard of quality. And in situations like that, we like to order the necessary parts to bring things like this back to life. And today, we got a replacement shell for this N64, this nice extreme green, yellow, Mountain Dew looking case. Looks really, really cool. So we're going to swap this out, use everything that we can from this existing N64. Put it in this one, make something really nice. It's going to make someone's game room pop and hopefully really enjoy. Thankfully, this is a relatively painless and easy sort of tech job to do. I already did one of them. It's that smoke purple color.
Yeah, here's the smoke gray, almost comic purple. I think it's really just smoke gray.
Yeah, I get that. I see that hint of purple in it.
Yeah, they're not the exact colors.
Yeah, they're a little bit off compared to what the OEM ones would be. You have 6 screws along the bottom that are all this specialty security bit that Nintendo likes to use on all their systems of this era and the previous eras anyway.
Yeah, it looks like someone stomped on that 64.
Yeah, you can see it's missing that entire chunk. Oh no, we got a stripped screw. It's stripped on the thread, so I can sit here and I can turn it forever, and it's just not, coming up. I'm gonna get the rest of them off and then show what I like to do in that case. If it's just one, you can kind of get it to work its way out. And we already I hear stuff jingling around in here.
I'm sure there's shards of plastic.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. If it's these, that's maybe why that one's not spinning, is because the piece that it actually threads down into is busted off.
Big post.
Yeah. So let's see here what we got. What I like to do, yep, it's just that. Okay. There we go. Oh man, yeah, there's so much. Pieces, shrapnel, the jumper pack. Thankfully, it doesn't look like the controller ports took any kind of damage. But yeah, we've got that piece there that wouldn't come up because the post is. So what are we gonna do about that? I think what I'm gonna try and do. If you can get this, thankfully this is on that foot, because if you can get underneath of it and kind of wedge it a little bit. We're not using this foot anyway, it's got replacement feet, but if you can wedge it and pry it up, and then sometimes that works. Oh no, you know what? Okay, I see now. So that got it going a little bit, but if you can see, when I go to do it, that's just spinning freely in there. So that's where it's catching. So if I just hold that in place, boom, I got it. Blah. We'll lose a screw. Inside, once inside, it's all just, Phillips heads. So you can take your favorite driver of choice.
Lightest tech tip screwdriver.
Is that what this is? Yeah. Not sponsored. And then let me see, because I did that other one a few weeks ago now at this point, so I'm trying to remember. The one thing I did remember is I took all of the ones that look like they'd be the ones you take out, and then it was still held in, and I couldn't figure out what was holding it in still. So I took all of these out. That's something you don't need to do at all. It's, you get the ones out on the side and the ones holding in these back ports here, and then it's the 2 screws next to where the jumper pack would go. That's, you take those out, and then the whole thing comes out. And then what I like to do, because most of this hardware on the inside here, it's the same, but there's some that's specialty that need to go back in the exact same spot you took it out from. So I like to set all those together, kind of in the way they lay out on or inside. So yeah, I've got those two there, so I know when I replace it, what goes where. And these are going to go on the side. These are the universal ones. These are the more universal ones. You can use these on either side or anywhere, really, when you're putting the new one back in. There's only 2 on this side. And these ones, it's not like you're going to get them confused with any of the other ones. Whereas, yeah, all these that are out here, it might be tricky getting it back in because you don't remember which one goes where, but these, it's like there's only one possible place they can go. They're so small. All right, I think that's everything. I might have to do these too. I don't remember. The thing that's tough with these is once you get them all the way free, they're still kind of like seated in there so well that you don't... The first one I did, I was like, oh man, did I actually get everything out, or is there more holding it in? Yeah, I think those 2 screws by the game slot are still holding it down. Let's see. Put Dunce hat on my head and post.
I'm gonna put a goofy little wizard hat on you.
I love that. Boom, there we go. Easy. And then I think we get a replacement for that power on light with this shell. Where'd we get this shell from?
This is from one of our distributors.
Okay.
I believe it's VGNY Soft.
Yes, this is the Techno Game console shell replacement.
Yeah.
This is just the brand that one of our distributors that we order third-party controllers from for the store carries.
Does it say on the box what they call it? Do they call it green or yellow? Or
No, they actually have the same bumps for all colors, so they've got like a sticker on the back. Oh, this one actually does say Atomic Purple.
okay.
This one is officially extreme.
Extreme green, like I said. You underestimate my power. So then, yeah, first we got our replacement shell. I'm gonna put these little foot pieces, I guess, I don't know what you call them, down in here first. Yeah, kind of help hold it in place, because these, it's weird, they go in between. From what I can tell, they're supposed to go in between this bottom piece here.
Here's all your replacement giblets.
Next.
Let me get these on your way, sir.
Here we go, yeah, and then when you put that back down, okay, perfect. Before you go start tying it down again, you want to put your little indicator plastic piece in there first, because you can't get it in otherwise. And it fits perfect to where the light goes right down in there, making sure everything else lines up. It still feels like that's... There we go. And now we can start putting it back in. That's all back in place. I need that piece.
Yeah, I mean, that is a reusable piece from the original shell, but to keep the aesthetic going,
we want to keep it all extreme green. And then we don't have any other pieces that need to go on right now just yet, so we're going to get it put back in place, and thankfully I have everything where it's supposed to go. So we're just going to start popping it back in here.
you don't need any tray organizer.
Yeah, I don't. No, not for an N64. If you're getting into...
PS3, Xbox 360.
Yeah, that you need an entire graph of parts to where as you're taking it apart, and then in order, there's a lot. I do not like working on disc-based systems. So I believe in cartridge superiority. Yeah, I have a tendency, I'm trying to break this habit too, because I want to make sure everything's like stupidly super secure. So I often
Over tightening it.
I tighten it down too hard. I'm trying to get better, and I'm a Sasquatch, so like my natural level of strength without me even trying, I'm sitting there just casually doing it, and then oh wait, oops,
Yeah.
it's stripped out. Or what's really cool about this see-through one is you can see the screw going in as you're doing it. All right, so yeah, we have everything back in on this end. Well, almost. I lie. Got to get the little jumper pack pieces in. And then we'll be done. It caught me off guard because going all the way in like that before you start, they're almost, you can barely tell that they're not fastened in because they almost sit almost flush. They're popping out a little bit, but I didn't notice that they were popping out still because they're so close. All right, and then what I've found is better before putting the top piece on and then trying to put all your other little pieces is to go ahead and just get all your other little pieces in, then get your top on. That which seems to work best for me. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and pop the reset button back in, pop that in, get our power in, and then one real important thing when you're going to put it back on, you want to make sure your power, if it's up or down, I always just have it facing down. but you want your power button to be in that same position so it goes over it properly. It's just one other thing that you can miss when you're trying to put it back together. All right, so yeah, you're gonna want to take your original springs from the N64 too, and you get all new pieces, and they're gonna go in just the exact same way. And then you pop that one down. All right, so yeah, then you got those two pieces in place. And then you put these new caps down. Yeah, and so they completely replace this piece so that way you can play Japanese games on this version, because back in the N64 days, their way of region locking something was just making the cartridges a different shape so they couldn't fit in your system, and vice versa. So this just makes it opens it up, completely gets rid of that aspect of it, and you can just play Japanese games on it. So it's really cool. Just another little bonus feature besides making, you know, the old broken N64 look cooler, is now it can play Japanese games too. I'm trying to hold this in place because those springs can go crazy. All right. So yeah, there you go. You get your new piece. All right. And for them, we're gonna put this new top on, and my power button's aligned. Boom. Pieces in right. Yeah, there we go. And now we just got to button it up on the outside. Yeah, let's button it up and then do the finishing touches. So we got brand new feeties for it.
Your screwdriver, sir.
Thank you. And then with the feet, I like to go ahead and just get it started going to the other end, or going out the end there.
Yeah, they can be a little tricky to line up.
Yeah, very much so. All right. So yeah, I get it started like that. And then when doing the outside, I don't like to do it kind of like how when you're changing the tire out. I like to get it started and a little bit snug, and then get them all that way, and then tighten them in opposite ends. One thing that's very easy to do, and you make sure you don't want to do when doing this outer shell, is those screws. You can start tightening them down and they won't be completely straight going threaded through, and it's easy to like thread them in going kind of slanted.
Yep.
Definitely don't want to do that. So
looks a whole lot more green now that there's stuff inside of it.
Yep. Yeah, I'm excited. I like this piece a lot. But like I mentioned earlier, you can see your screws going through, so you can tell, okay, this one's started. Pretty good, pretty good. All right, now I'm just finishing up tightening everything down and actually making it really snug. All right, and then we're gonna put the finishing touches, this bottom piece. We'll install the jumper pack. Install the top piece. And then what we're gonna try and do is actually reserve
So
the 64.
I was gonna say, so these shells that we got actually come with these sort of blank black shields to go on the front to replace the N64 logo. And these are actually a little tricky to get off, but this just looks like garbage. We don't need that.
Yeah.
We want that beautiful N64 logo. So these are actually held on with two little adhesive, like double-sided tape spots, two little adhesive squares. So what you could do is heat this up with like a hair dryer or a heat gun and get that off of there. We don't have one of those, so we're gonna try and poke it out with a knife. There's two little holes, if you can kind of,
Yeah, I can remember up here. So you can kind of see where the light's coming through there. You can see it.
yeah.
Yeah, those little pieces. So we're just gonna try and pop it out that way with our trusty knife.
Be gentle because I do
You
think
gotta be real careful.
technically glass,
Okay.
or at least like thin acrylic, because the one I did on the Atomic Purple kind of snapped a little bit.
Did it. Or screwdriver. Yeah, there we go. Screwdriver. The knife had me nervous. I was gonna actually puncture it, but okay. So yeah, I used a screwdriver to pop it out a little bit that way, and then now we got this knife. We can get underneath of it. Boom, like that.
We don't have any double-sided tape, but we do have dollar store super glue.
Let's go. We're done. Should be more than enough. Then we're gonna pop that little piece down in. There we go. Beautiful.
Oh, man.
There we go. Absolutely gorgeous. We're gonna have to order more of these and then fight the temptation to break other N64s so that way we have ones to swap the shells out. I'm just kidding, we would never do that. But yeah, so if you have a busted up N64 like this and would want to bring it into us and it's still functional, we'd love to still make you an offer on it so that way we can do this with it. Or you can order one of these yourself and give it a shot. It's really super simple, easy to do, a lot of fun. There's nothing really quite like just opening up a system like this and putting your own touch on it, and then it just makes the system so much more personable to you. Like, I know we're going to sell this one, but I kind of want it myself. It's a fun, good time. Do you like tech videos like this? Do you want to see more? We'd love to do them. Let us know down in the comments. And do you have any projects you're working on currently? Because we love knowing when people are doing really cool stuff like this, whether it's custom or just repairs or anything. This video isn't sponsored. We ordered this ourselves specifically to repair this broken system and put out for sale for our customers. And this may not be going online for sale, but we do have an online store where we have tons of other inventory. I'd love if you checked it out. You can order games, consoles, accessories, and more, all at nostalgicvideogames.com. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, game on, dudes.